Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to come on this morning, speak to everyone, and wish everyone a happy beginning of the week. Last week was something else last week, but thank God we made it. And I had a lot of time to think, as well as going through everything that we were going through on last week. It made you sit back, I will say, for myself, and I think for countless others, and just be thankful for, if nothing else, we learned how to be just thankful for the little things, thankful for heat, thankful for water, and just thankful for being around and having people in our lives that love and care about us, and willing to check on us and go through different crises together. So I'm just, really overwhelmed with thankfulness to so many people for checking in on me, and thankful to God for allowing me to check in on others, because that's kind of where we are in life right now. We got to check on and take care of one another. One thing I learned, you can't do life by yourself. I've learned it before this, but sometimes it's just a reminder to us. You can't do life by yourself. You need others as you going through life and trying to make it. But something that I really, really, really wanted, that stuck in my head. I was speaking with a friend before all of this broke loose, and we were talking about being encouraged, being inspired, hearing others who inspire you. And I don't care how big you get in life, everybody needs to be inspired every now and then. Everybody needs some words of encouragement to keep pushing every now and then. And as we were talking and having our conversation, and again, this is prior to us even going through this winter storm. Um, I, I was saying to her, I'm so reminded by past sermons of my late husband. And something that stuck with me was when he had talked about, don't be sidetracked. Don't be sidetracked. Because, life will bamboozle you. Life will come up on the side of you, and trouble can rise up on both sides in your life. Now, we getting a pandemic on top of a pandemic. And even though we say, well, the winter storm is gone, but the winter storm left some impacts. And then we have to continue to pray for others who may not have been as fortunate to get their lights restored right away. Get not just their lights restored right away, to be able to have water. Some people are still without water. Some people have busted pipes. Some places caught on fire. And let's not forget, lives in the process were taken through this winter storm. So listen, this is a mental health thing. This is impacting people mentally. Let's not forget that. So first we had the coronavirus impacting people, mentally. I mean, like all of us have been impacted because we had to switch to things and live lives that are not so what was normal to us. And we had to learn how to function in it. And it's not just us adults, it's our children who are going to school every day, or either learning from home, just trying to keep it all together. So what I'm saying this morning, let's not just take things so lightly, because maybe at this time we are not on the harshest side of it like others are. But what we need to do in these moments is to help however we can. And sometimes people are not looking for money. Sometimes people just looking for a listening ear, for somebody to hear their pain. Sometimes that's all it is. So, along with the virus, now here comes the winter storm. And people got to figure that out. And and here it is, I'm coming back around to and being reminded. See, God had that conversation. He was propping up that conversation before that storm even hit, through me and a friend of mine. Don't be sidetracked. In other words, don't let what's happening right now, do not let it get you down. Don't forget about all the things that God has already brought you through. Don't forget about what he's already delivered you from. Don't forget about the fact that he has not ever forgotten about you. See, when we begin to go through things, sometimes we feel like, God, have you forgotten about me? And you know what? We are all guilty of it. It's none of us that can say, oh no, I never questioned God, because you know what? We all have been there. And you know what? Our response is, why me? And it don't have to be these crises that we're in, experiencing now. In our past, things have happened and we've said, Lord, why me? And you notice down the line, it's like you heard God's voice said, why not? Why not? See, when we go through things, and this is just my belief, when we go through things, God is trying to speak to us and make us correct some things as well. And sometimes we don't have enough time because we get so busy for the people that love us the most. In a time like the times we're in, God is constantly connecting us and bringing us together in thankfulness. In thankfulness. Not just being thankful for lights and water and gas and a roof over your head. Thankfulness for your family. Thankful that nobody's sick detrimentally right now. Thankful that you can still get up in the morning and you have a place of employment to go to. Thankful that even if you are not the one that's doing it, somebody else in the household is holding down the load of the household. I'm thankful that my grandkids are okay. I'm thankful that, not just my grandkids, that other people's grandkids are okay. That other people's children, not just my daughter, other people's children are okay. Just thankful for that. Thankful for the fact that, people got out there and did things after things kind of cleared up. And it's done time and time again to see how you can help. People got out there and helped to feed people. They got out there, prepared large meals to go and feed as many people as their meals could carry. You understand what I'm saying? People lined up and got out there and got together to put water in the cars and trucks of other people. See, when you start looking on the side that you can be thankful for things rather than continuing to look at the crisis that you are in. And this goes for me too. You see God's hand in it. He said, I'm trying to speak to y'all. I need y'all to sit down and listen to me. You listening to everybody else. What about me? God got to do some correcting on us. And see, we like pointing fingers. We love saying what somebody else isn't doing or what somebody else done or some shortcoming. Just do your part. Just do your part. Do your part in treating others like you want to be treated. Don't be sidetracked. And in that sermon that I'm reminded of from my late husband, something he said about not being sidetracked. He said, if you don't remember anything else, remember this. All those things that he already brought you through. Don't let the one thing that you facing right now cause you to forget about all the other blessings. Stop looking in your rear view mirror. Because every time you look in your rear view mirror, see, your rear view mirror causes you to want to go back sometime because you think you left something back there. In your heart's mind, you think you left something back there. That's why you keep looking back there. That's why you can't see the blessings that been bestowed upon you, because you can't see what God, you lose sight of what God done already brought you through. Stop looking back there. That rear view gonna mess you up. You gonna get distracted. You gonna get sideswiped. You're gonna forget about the road that you are on, that you've already been traveling. And yeah, there were some bumps in those roads. But guess what? Today you can say, I didn't let that get me sidetracked. I'm not sidetracked because I chose the latter. I chose to take another step. I chose to, even in all the things that I was going through, not to look at my situation, but I rose up and said, how can I help somebody else from what I've been through, from what I've experienced? How can my testimony help to inspire somebody else? See, me, I don't have time to sit down and feel sorry for myself because it's too much out there to be done for me to be able to help somebody else. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to sit down and wallow in sorrow. I got to get up and rise up and do something to help inspire somebody else. Because you got to remember, sometimes it's not always people's finances. Sometimes people just need a listening ear. Sometimes people just need a hug. Sometimes people just need to be told that it's going to be all right. You know why it's going to be all right? Because God has not forgotten about you, and he has placed me in your footsteps to bring you some words of encouragement, some words of inspiration, to a listening ear. People, we got to learn how to listen to somebody else sometimes. You can't always be the one that's in need. You got to be ready to rise up to help somebody else. You may feel like nobody's listening to you. Nobody's hearing you. But as long as you are doing what you are being led to do, God is the one that validates that. Another thing that my late husband would always say, he said, if I don't have but one or two people listening to me, you know what? I would do this if I didn't have nobody listening to me. You know why? Because God is my audience. And I have lived that. I have lived that. I will say this morning, if nobody listens to me, God is my audience. And if God is pleased with what you are saying, that seals it. That approves it. See, sometimes we're looking for validation from people, and God said, I need to validate you. Because if you are doing things and saying things and carrying out actions without my approval, everything that you're doing is null and void. It don't mean nothing to me. And if it doesn't mean nothing to God, everything you're doing is in vain. What I do in the morning is not about me. What I do it as I am led to do, as I am fed in my mind. What I'm fed in my mind to give out is what I give out. I'm not looking for no pats on the back. What I'm doing is being obedient. And I can say this as well as my late husband would say. If he was here today, he stood solid on that. He always told me, he said, look here, there gonna be times when it's gonna be nobody but you and God. But you got to know one thing. What you do, I don't care what you do. Would you do that same thing without a crowd? My answer is yes. His answer was yes. Because when you're doing it for the crowd, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Because people will leave you. People will discredit you. People will distract you. People will disrupt what you got going on. Stay focused. Don't be sidetracked. Stay focused. Don't be sidetracked. And do whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever you're doing to help people, if it ain't nobody watching to give you a pat on the back, you keep doing it as long as God is pleased with what you are doing. Because I can tell you right now, I was doing this before I even came on social media. I was doing motivational speaking before I even came on social media. I do this if ain't nobody looking at me. I do this because I love, it's a passion for me to do this, to get up and to speak and to say what's laid on my heart day after day after night after night. It's just, I love that. That's a passion. That's a gift from God. I'll do this if nobody was looking at me, because I was already doing it. God is the one that brought me to this level. And when God say time is up, I can't do nothing but stop doing it. This way, I've been out in the trenches. Motivational speaking has been a part of my life. Not because of me, but because God gave me a gift to utilize it. And I'm not just going to sit on it because people not looking at me. Because people not patting me on the back. Because people don't think what I'm doing is a good thing. Look here, as long as God is my audience and he keeps inspiring me and he keeps encouraging me and keeps allowing me to get up and give me breath in my body, I will not be sidetracked. And you got to say that to yourself. What I'm doing, I'd do it if nobody was looking at me. I'm not just saying that because that's me. I'm saying that because a lot of you are the same way. What you've been doing, you're not looking for no credit for that. You would do what you've been doing if nobody was looking at you. And in this time that we are in right now, all the COVID-19s, all the winter storms, all of everything that's happening. Long as we live, it's going to be some crisis in our life. But look here. Don't be sidetracked. Don't throw in the towel. Don't give up on God. Everybody's not going to understand your situation. I had to leave my home, just like other people did, and go to my daughter's home. Her and her husband, they never lost power. They never lost water. But see, look here. This is what I got out of that. God is your refuge. So he'll keep some things in place for others so they can invite you in. Listen to me closely. God is your refuge. He kept some people in place for you to go, to stay warm when your place wasn't warm, to provide meals for you, provide the meals for you. So when you didn't even know where your meal was going to come from. Lights for you when you was in darkness. I'm not saying that's everybody's situation, but we all went through it different. But God was our refuge. And some people did. They chose to hunker down and stay in place. But even at that time, God allowed you to make it through, to tell your story. See, it's not to sit down. Let me back up a little bit. It's okay to sit down, but don't forget to get back up. It's okay to sit down, but don't forget to get back up. We are at points in our lives. We're going to always be at points in our lives where something in life going to get next to you. But you got to make this decision to get back up, to get back in the game and not be sidetracked. Don't be so sidetracked that you give up on yourself. Don't you quit on you. Don't you quit on you. Don't you quit on you. I keep saying that because you know why? It's in my spirit to say that repetitively. Don't you quit on you. Because once you quit on you, can't nobody else help you. The strongest part of your body is your legs. So that means that if the strongest part of your body is your leg, it means that you got to get up and rise up every day and do something different than what you did yesterday. See, just cause I'm going to make this relative to my grandson, he plays sports. See, he don't win every game. But you know what? Even if he lose a game on Friday, guess what? He get back up on Monday to go to practice. That's the way we got to do. See, just because you lose in one game, that don't mean that you don't get up the next day to go to practice, to make yourself better. Because you got to understand one thing. Whether you choose to keep moving or not, everybody not going to sit down with you. You got to get back up. But sometimes, listen to me this morning, sometimes your circle is too large. You got to learn how to have a small circle. You can't have everybody in your circle. You can't have too many people in your circle. Because when you got too many people in your circle, some things going to go wrong because you're going to have more people pulling at you than helping you. Your world is too large. You know, I said this to my grandson. You got to keep a small world. Your world got to be small when you're trying to make it. You can't have everybody in your world with you. And you can't give up on you. And you know, and I saw that. What brought that to mind when I would, because I don't know anything about sports, but I would watch him because he's played basketball, he'll play baseball, he'll play football, he'll run track. See, and you know what? God showed me when he won at games, and even to this day, he celebrates it. But immediately he started getting ready for the next game. But the beauty of it is, and I'm going to connect this how God is showing us. I'm just using my grandson because that's my grandson and he the one plays sports. There's a lot of them play sports, but you got children and grandchildren that play sports. And watch them. And I'm quite sure a lot of them are like him. When he lose a game, he get up the next day to go to practice. See, you got to, and how God is relating that to us, you got to get up the next day to go to practice. You got to get up the next day to do the next thing that I got out there for you. You got to get up the next day, Electra, to get on and say the words that I need you to speak to the people to inspire and to encourage them not to give up. Not that it's in me, but it's him speaking through me, telling me what to tell you, to say to you. And you know what? I'm telling y'all this morning, if nobody listens to Electra, if I still do this, I was doing this before I came to social media. I was already doing this because I love speaking. But guess what? As out of all the years, I have utilized this gift from God. It's never been a time where I didn't have some fuzziness in my stomach, some nervousness in my stomach. But you know what? That's because at that time, God said, you sit down so I can stand up. You got to sit down so I can stand up. See, when you standing up, you telling the people what you think and what you feel. When you sit down and I stand up, you are bringing out what I put in you to give to the people, to inspire and to encourage them. You are a wonderful person, whoever you are. You need to walk in your own greatness, whoever you are. You need to tell yourself that this is your season, whoever you are. And you got to rise up and do what you got to do so that you can get to the next level in your life. Stop thinking about everybody else. Stop talking about what somebody gonna say about you or how somebody gonna feel about you. Guess what? If somebody not gonna like Electra, they just not gonna like Electra anyways. Because I don't know nobody else that love Electra more than Electra loves Electra. And you got to say that to yourself. This morning, Gail, you have to tell yourself there's nobody that loves Gail as much as Gail loves Gail. Dean, you got to tell yourself there's nobody that loves Dean more than Dean loves Dean. See, you got to love you. How can anybody else love you if you don't love you? And it's so many things in our lives that we are a blessing to other people. And we don't even know it. We don't know it. Because you know why? Because we just constantly doing what God telling us to do. We're not looking for no pats on the back. We're not looking for no pats on the back. We're just doing what he told us to do. What he told us to do. And when he tells you to do something, you don't need an audience. He's your audience. You don't have to sit back and watch the numbers because he's your audience. And I can tell you right now, there are so many people in life overall. They need the crowd to tell them, what you doing is good. I like what you doing. But what about when that same crowd treats you like they treated Jesus? the same crowd will treat you just like they treated Jesus. Those same people, you can give them everything you got. But when you need them, they won't be there. And you know what? God is reminding us. You know why? Because you weren't looking at me. You were looking at them. You were looking for validation through man. When I told you I had everything you needed. You needed man to validate you when I told you I had everything you needed. Everything that Electra need, God then already put it in me. He said, I'm more than the world against you. Why you worried about how the world feel about you? I'm more with you than they are against you. Because I'm God all by myself. All by myself. When I got my certification in mental health, I celebrated it at a minimal point. And I thank everybody who celebrated with me through congratulations. But listen here. Listen here. God was the one that caused that to happen. God was the one that allowed me to be able to have the strength to do this thing virtually, to do it. See, I can see how these young people feel trying to get up and do school now, not face to face, but virtually. And that's a mental thing. And I know how that feels because I'm having to do a lot of stuff remotely, my job from home. Even though I got to go down there today, I only go in on Mondays. It's one day out the week, and the rest of the week I do it remotely from home. But you know what? I'm thankful to God that I got a job. You understand? That I could bring it to the house, that I have a home to work my job out of. So Electra is good. And not that I'm bragging, I'm boasting in the Lord, because guess what? I thought about it again when my late husband said, don't be sidetracked. Don't you ever be sidetracked. Because, you reach back and get what you were taught. I don't care if it's your husband as a pastor or just your pastor or, leaders in the community. You got to reach back and get that stuff. It's not just for the moment. Let me tell you something. What you are being taught right now through the word of God. I was asked the question about why I don't come on Sundays. Let me put that out here right now. I just want to clarify this right now. I am a motivational speaker. I've been doing that for years, and I enjoy it. And I use the gift that's how God gave me my gift as a motivational speaker. And me and my late husband would laugh sometimes because I say, hey, you pastor. I'm just a motivational speaker. And we laughed about it, but I'm not going to go in a lot of detail because it was always funny. And we always found stuff to laugh about, right? But what we both had was beneficial. It was beneficial because guess what? I don't come on because people got enough pastors who are out there and they're speaking to the people. Why do I need to come on? Why do I need to come on? I come on Mondays and Tuesdays to do motivational speaking. I do the same thing like you guys do. I use Sunday to listen to different sermons. Pastor Ross is on here this morning, and he has a full congregation that listens on Sundays, come in on Sundays. So social media allows you to tap in virtually. That's a blessing. He's reaching more people now outside of the services that he provides. Why would I come on to do a motivational talk on Sunday? Because guess what? I'm being fed just like everybody else. I listen to different sermons on Sunday too. So that's why I don't come on Sundays. Because I give the man and the woman of God their platform. I don't give it to them, God give it to them. But I respect them in that. I don't want to do nothing to be a distraction. Because we all got to be fed. All of us have to be fed. Whether we agree with it or not. So there's the answer to those who just ask me respectfully why I don't come on Sundays. And that's why. Because I respect the men and the women of God who have prepared their sermons on Sunday, for Sunday. I don't want to be a distraction in no kind of way. I don't even want to distract one person on Sunday. I want to listen too. I want to hear the word too. And I don't just listen to just one throughout the day. I listen through different services. And Pastor Ross has some wonderful sermons. I might not see him when he originally comes on, but later on, I go and I look and listen. It's nothing wrong with that. Don't be a distraction. Don't get sidetracked. Don't do things that God is not a part of your audience. Because sometimes God is the only one in your audience. And guess what? If he doesn't approve of what you're doing, I don't care what it is, it's null and void. Get excited about God. Get excited about the fact of how far he's already brought you. Get excited about the fact of things he's already delivered you from. Get excited about that. Get excited about your future. That some good things are coming. Some good things are on the way. And as I said earlier, and I'm going to get off, I'm going to leave this with you. And I have to go back because the Lord keeps putting it on my mind to say this. Don't quit on yourself. Never quit on yourself. Because people can't do what you can do for yourself. And as my grandson, a student athlete, God laid this on my heart this morning, to inspire others. Even when he loses a game, he gets up and go to practice the next day. Even when he loses, he rises to his feet. He gets himself back together after the loss and goes to practice the next day. And that is what God wants from us. Yes, I know that y'all have a pandemic. I got the vaccines out there. I already know about it. Everything that's happening, God already know about it. Oh, that winter storm, I already knew about it. I already knew about it. I already knew about it. But what I need y'all to do is to listen to me. Listen to me. because I'm doing a new thing in your life. It's open door season in your life. Believe it. Walk in it. Talk about it. And appreciate God. And when you fall, because a crisis came, get back up. Don't quit. Get back up. And don't be sidetracked. All right? Get prepared for the next game. So y'all have a wonderful day. I enjoyed coming on, speaking with you all on this morning. We're going to have two interviews this week because of last week. I canceled everything due to what was going on with our weather conditions. So we're going to have interviews on tomorrow. We're going to have Dr. Annette Jenkins is going to come to us and speak to us about medication. It's a wonderful, wonderful interview. She's got a lot of material that she has pulled together for us. She's a retired pharmacist of over 30 plus years. I'm excited about it. I feel like we all need to hear it. So please, as I see my assistant here, Jackie is on this morning saying, get back up. And yes, we do. We got to get back up. So me, Jackie, announcing this morning is telling the people we back up. We back up. We getting back up. And so we've got this morning's talk. It's done. It's behind us. Then we've got tomorrow's interview with Dr. Annette Jenkins on talking about medication. And I believe all of us need to hear that because all of us taking some kind of medication. And then on Wednesday, we have Danielle Johnson, who is going to be coming on to speak with us about her business, being a young Black business owner. She's going to be coming on Wednesday. So we have 2 interviews this week because we had to push some things out. Then we have Brandon Jones, which is my grandson, who's going to be coming up on the first Wednesday in March. He's going to do our first Wednesday in March interview. On all of this is being done on the podcast, okay? And so on my podcast, Electric James, Inspirational Talks. So he's going to be talking about being a student athlete and going through the things that he had to deal with throughout the pandemic as a student in his academics as well as his athletics. He's got a great conversation we're going to be having with him on the first Wednesday in March. The second Wednesday in March, we're going to have Janice Leggett, and she's going to be coming on, and she's going to be talking to us about our school system and the way it's being impacted as a retired school teacher. She's going to be talking about the way that is impacting our children today, because even though she's retired, she loves doing the work of being a teacher. So she does it part-time now, I believe. And so she's got some wonderful information that she's going to be speaking with us about and sharing with us on the second Wednesday in March. Now, the third week of March, there's not going to be anything live because that is my spring break. And I'm going to be taking a break on my spring break. So, but the fourth Wednesday in March, we're going to have Crystal Beard, and she's going to come on and speak to us about depression. Oh man, it's just so much information that these interviews that myself, along with the help of my friend, Jacqueline Sarver, who helps me with getting this all up and ready to go, because these things don't just boom happen. It's some things that happen before you actually see the finished product product, okay? Individuals coming on and these interviews taking place. So we also want to thank Jacqueline Sarver for all that she does to help us to get these interviews out there. Thankful to God for that. That's what I'm talking about, being thankful. God always sends you who and what you need. So that is what we have coming up. And then I'm going to start working on a whole new cycle of interviews. But I'm so excited about everything that's happening with the morning talks, and as well as, the interviews. They've been magnificent since day one. I'm just loving it. I'm getting a lot of feedback. And again, these interviews are being done at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays. Yes, they're done on my podcast, Electra James Inspirational Talks. So join us on Wednesdays when we have those interviews available. You can also go to YouTube and watch them later on. And then they are also posted to my Facebook page. So I'm telling y'all, I'm really excited about what God is doing, not just in my life, in the lives of so many others. And I want y'all to get excited about what he's doing in your life, not just my life, in your life, because I'm excited about what God is doing in your life. You know, I don't know. I'm just going to leave that there this morning, because I know one thing, I can talk, y'all. So that's a gift from God, though. It's a God-given gift. So anyways, you all go on about your business. Have a wonderful day. I got to get out there in that cold today to go to work just for this one day on Monday. But you know what? I'm going in excited today. I'm going in excited because I got a chance this morning, an opportunity to get up, rise up to my feet, and speak to you all this morning. And I just know within my spirit, within my heart, we're going to have a good day. Because you know why? It's open door season for us. It's open door season. Yes. Yes, it is. In our life. Not just my life, in your life too. And going back, leave you with this. You might have lost something on yesterday, but you get back up and go to practice today. All right? Y'all have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Bye-bye.